If we want to protect our rights, and whether that's right to self-determination or any other right, we have to move beyond the idea that we're just national citizens, that we're just a Moorish nation, that you have to see yourself as part of humanity too. That's really, I think, important, that you don't see yourself as just an inclusive or an exclusive entity, but an inclusive one. Okay? So it's a question of moving beyond our lower level allegiances. We want to protect our right to be Moors, our right to be whatever we choose. We want to celebrate those identifications. I mean, it's important to celebrate. That's what makes being a human so fun and interesting, is that we can go out to dinner and have Thai food or whatever. We want to protect it. We want to protect linguistic, cultural, ethnic, religious, whatever other classifications that we have. We want to protect them. But as it's been through human history, it's always tribes fighting tribes. And now the nation states are really sort of the biggest tribes, but they're still fighting each other on a day-to-day basis, preparing and waging wars. And so we're saying we need to move beyond, one step beyond that, so that if you kill someone on the streets of Philadelphia, you kill someone on the streets of Baghdad, that is murder. Okay? It's still killing, and it should be considered murder. But I don't know if you're aware, but there are laws, human-made laws, that, like the Geneva Conventions and protocols, that say war is legal. War is a valid human activity. And that is in my mind, I think not only is it immoral, but it's really illegal. How can you have a premise of a law that says you can kill? I mean, it's ridiculous. When the International Court of Justice heard a case in 1996 on the threat or use of nuclear weapons, and it was an advisory opinion that the World Health Organization asked them to make. And they said, is it illegal to use threaten to use nuclear weapons? And the court said, of course it is. But they made an exception. The exception is you can use it for self-defense. Well, what country isn't going to use nuclear weapons for self-defense? So it totally negated the whole rest of the case. It's very frustrating. So really, I guess my point is there is no national security. So even if you have a Moorish government fully functioning, and you have your nation, and you have your territory secured, I have to sorry to say, and I feel bad saying this, that's not enough. Remember that. Think of this long-term goal that you want to have your rights met, but to do that, you can't just let other people in other parts of the world suffer when their rights aren't being met. Okay? So, I really love the tenets of the flag and of the nation, because it does really say it all. So let's see. I mean, international law, and like I said, even the law that was made in that advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice is really an oxymoron. How can you have law between equally sovereign states who are willing to wage war as a final resolution of conflict? War is anarchy. You can't have law between them. This is why I said world law. We need some law beyond that to protect our rights. And we do actually have world law in the sense of natural, social, and conceptual law. I don't want to take too much time going into that. I can just say, well, nature is already a global government. It exists already. We think we're humans. We think we're superpowers. We think we can do whatever we want, but then a big tidal wave comes and washes us away. So there's still that government of nature that we have to deal with, and we should respect it. And I think why so many people are dying of cancer and other diseases is because humans have sort of become a cancer to the planet. And I don't know who said it was that we become like the measles of the planet. But there is world law that's natural. There's also world law that's social. I mean, in most communities, the very young or the old and infirmed are taken care of. We take care of them. And it's just natural to humans to do that. That's sort of a social world law. Another social world law, which I don't know if anybody's heard of, but there's something called the Universal Postal Union. The Universal Postal Union is a government of the post. We don't even think about it, but when you drop off that postcard or that letter, even pay that bill, you're exercising your right to, and really in a sense, freedom of expression, because you're sending an idea or something through the mail to somebody else. But you don't worry that you paid that 44 cents or whatever it might be, or 89 cents or 98 cents internationally. You just want to make sure your letter gets there to your friend or your cousin, and wherever they are. And if it doesn't, something's wrong with that system. But generally, it does. Out of 2 billion pieces of mail fly through the mail stream almost every day, and most of it does not get lost. You don't care who is the director or who is the general Secretary General of the Universal Postal Union, because that person is irrelevant as long as your mail is getting where it's going. Governments are supposed to be a service to the people, and certainly I know that the Moorish government, that's the principle behind it, is being service to all Moors. And the world government of world citizens, our focus is to be, I mean, that's why World Service Authority's middle name is service. We want to make sure that government is of the people, by the people, for the people, and a service to us, or why even have government? It stands in our way if we can't, if it's not really a service. So there's social world government already functioning that we accept, you know, like this universal postal union. There's conceptual, and that we've already really talked about. Conceptual world law is these principles that all, like whether it's the gold rule or what sages and wisdom givers have told us over the years, you know, do unto others. All that is conceptual world law that we already have that we can base our work on. And so certainly we're trying to create a new government. And this is, has anyone heard of the idea of a paradigm shift? Yeah, okay. So really that's what we're trying to do, move us away from this nation-centric system to a global one. And that's not easy. When you try to do that, there are a lot of people who are against it. There are people who are in power who are against it. There's going to be people in power who are, in other kinds of power, who are going to be against the Moorish government and what you're trying to do. Because they may think that you're trying to take away from them, when all you're trying to do is build yourself up. You know what I mean? And that's okay if they think that. You just have to do everything you can and every day try to make them understand. They may never understand, but that's okay too. You know that you're doing what's right.